WISTPN. 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 WISTPN.
Trigger with Instructor Mike on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Why?
Why? Because someone told a great guy no.
No! God, please, no! No!
And he told that no, and he said, fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and turn that no into next opportunity. That's the latest book I just released, what I tell myself about no, because children who do not understand the power of rejection and the propulsion that occurs inside it becomes adults who can't take rejection, and your next opportunity could be right around the corner if you just understand how to use that no. And that's why we exist at What's in It for the Black People Media Network, because someone took a no and said, I'm gonna create next opportunity. You're not silencing the voice, because that's what's in it for the black people, is the truth. Not always that you want to hear, it's the shit that needs to be said, because our ancestors fought and died to give us the right of access, and who the fuck are you to tell me no? Only on What's in It for the Black People Media Network.
Hard work, we're on the go.
WISTPN.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio.
And so, my fellow Americans, I have a dream.
You're listening to Trigger.
You want to crown him? Then crown your ass. I ain't scared of you, mother.
The one and only
Mike Brown.
My calculations are correct.
Let's begin.
Yeah, that pumped me up right there. What's going on? What's going on? For those of you all who are watching on What's in It for the Black People Media Network, this is Trigger with Instructor Mike. I am your host, Instructor Mike Brown, and today is a great day. We're going to talk about things firearm related. I got pumped up at that intro, boy. Turn no into next.
Up
yeah.
because of what I'm looking at.
That's it, y'all. I told you guys going to be in for a doggone treat today. So if you got people that want to know about concealed carry, they want to know about firearms, and better yet, how to select a firearm that works for you, this is definitely going to be that type of instructional show. And we're going to talk a little bit about, shouts out to Maze Jackson in the morning show, Sonia, the musical conductor, Escobar, and Maze and Ruthie and Todd Stroger. They talked about, are we ready, or pretty much is there anybody black that we can really go to be put on, stuff like that. And I kind of want to continue that part of the conversation and kind of box it into firearms readiness and stuff like that. And Mays kind of clarified what he meant specifically, but I think that that part of the conversation as it relates to firearms definitely needs to be had. But I ain't gonna trigger you just yet on that side. We're gonna talk about firearms. If you're watching on YouTube, go on ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. And if you're watching on Facebook, go on ahead and like the Maze Jackson page and hit those stars. those stars, when you send that, it's not a lot like you think it is, but it should be, because that type of stuff actually helps to support great content from What's in It for the Black People Media Network. Okay, so let's go on ahead into it without further delay. Go on ahead and share this. Share the broadcast. Let's get those numbers up, because while I do appreciate those of you all who are watching, I know you got family members. I know you got friends. You got people who got questions about concealed carry. And of the questions that I get asked, that's one of the number one questions that I get asked, aside from background, is what kind of firearm should I pick? Well, that's what we're going to focus on today. We got the hardware in the house. Shouts out to Glock International and CZ Firearms and stuff like that. So let's get started. Okay, so if you don't have pen and paper, you need to get that. What's going on, Frederica? What's going on, Sabrina? Sabrina, you said you can't hear. Oh, you're good? Okay, good. All right, let's go on ahead and get started. So grab some pen and paper. Let's talk about it. When you're talking about firearms selection in terms of what type of firearm should I get, you want to get something that's affordable, something that's comfortable, something that's usable, and something that's battle ready. I'll say it again. Affordable, comfortable, usable, battle ready. I'll say it again for those of you all who are writing stuff down now, okay? Affordable, comfortable, usable, and battle ready. So when we're talking about affordable, there are your share of firearms that are affordable. But of course, I can't speak for your pockets. I can't speak for your bank accounts and things like that. Those are the things that you can speak for. So you know what you can afford. You know what you can't afford, stuff like that. We'll talk about that too, okay? But it needs to be within your price range. It doesn't make sense to spend $1,200 on a doggone gun, and then you can't, you're going to have to sit there and use that firearm for another reason, okay? So you definitely want to go on ahead and, get one that's affordable within your price range. And there are some quality firearms that are out there like that. Take, for example, this type of firearm right here. This is an example of a CZ, or not an example. This is actually a CZ P10F. It's chambered in 9mm. This is a semi-automatic firearm, and pretty much the definition of a semi-automatic firearm, I'll teach you, is a firearm where the energy of that discharge round, it is used to eject or expel that casing from the firearm and reloads a new round into the chamber. With every trigger press, there is the ejection of that round and the reloading of a new one, okay? And this is a CZ P10F. I got this one from Eagle Sports Range, 5900 West 159th Street in Oak Forest. This type of firearm, it got me about around $579. Pretty affordable, okay? Definitely when you're talking about comfortable and usable, you want to get the kind of firearm that fits in your hand like a glove. It fits in your hand like a glove. Contrary to what people think, not all firearms, what's going on, Herb? Not all firearms fit everyone's hands. Now, what I'm explaining to you is pretty much what you're looking for when you're talking about the firearm that you're going to carry every day. Now, combat, tactician is the type of person that no matter what kind of firearm you have in your hand, you'll be able to pick that firearm up and you'll be able to use it no matter what. That's a combat application of firearms. But we're talking about something that you choose to carry every day, your everyday carry kind of firearm, okay? And so for that, you want as much comfort as possible, okay? You want to make sure that it's affordable, something that's comfortable, something that fits in your hand like a glove. When you establish a good two-hand grip, are you able to establish that grip? Are you able to, pull the slide back and let it go, release it and stuff like that? Are you able to, hit the slide lock release, the actual magazine release, things like that? That's why you always should try the firearm before you buy it. You should try it before you buy it. Shouts out to Herb Howard and Tucson Warner. I said what I said. This is definitely a part of that conversation. Herb, if you got some folks that are interested in firearms, whatever the case may be, this is definitely that type of program that you definitely want to pay attention to, because the people fail for the lack of knowledge. This is stuff that I would normally teach in the concealed carry class, and we're bringing it to you all because, I want you to understand, those of you all who have taken a class, not every instructor teaches all the stuff they need to teach, and that's a sad thing. That really is. So affordable and comfortable. When we're talking about comfortable and usable, again, I say try before you buy. Try before you buy, because the one thing that I see that people do, and especially when I put them on one-on-one classes and things like that, the one thing that I see them do is that they'll go purchase a gun because it's pink, it's cute, it's cuddly, it fits to your yes, it's all pink and cute and cuddly and fits to your sparkly personality. But then when you get out there on the range, the trigger is hard to press. It hurts when you press the trigger. Yeah, and not even when you press the trigger, the slide, the recoil is too much for your body and stuff like that. And body mechanics is very important. That's like trying to pick up a sledgehammer when you can barely pick up a regular hammer. The tool is the tool, but your ability is your ability. And those are the things that you need to take into consideration. Also, when we're talking about battle ready, there are different kinds of firearms ranging from small size to your large size. So I hope you have pen and paper so that we can go on ahead and talk about that, because again, I brought my friends in the studio, Glock, Glockisha, and Glock Est. I'm just playing. All right. So you've got full size, compact, and you got subcompact. Full size, compact, and then subcompact. What are your full-size type firearms? Well, meet the Glock 17 Generation 4. Glock 17 Generation 4. This is a semi-automatic pistol chambered in 9mm, and we always want to make sure that we observe the firearms basic safety rules, that we assume all firearms are loaded. We point that firearm in a safe direction, and we keep our fingers off of the trigger and outside of the trigger guard until we're ready to actually fire that pistol. And of course, there are other safety rules that are out there, but these are the most important because you just don't want to shoot yourself. I don't want to see that happen. I don't want to see you hurt yourself. So in that, you want to make sure that, this is a firearm that you can actually, afford, one that's comfortable, usable, and battle ready. This is a full-size firearm. So if you're writing this down, full-size firearm, striker fired. A striker fired firearm is a firearm where there is no external hammer. You're not pressing anything, but the striking mechanism is on the inside of the slide. Okay. If you want an easier plug and play kind of option, your striker fire pistols are easier, the same trigger press no matter what, striker fire pistols. So far we've got full size and we've got striker fired. Okay. Make sure that you're sharing the broadcast, tag people in this broadcast that are interested in firearms and stuff like that. And I'll also go over concealed carry classes, and you're getting yourself in concealed carry classes. Let's get those numbers up, because I see a lot of people talking about firearms training and stuff like that. The people fail for the lack of knowledge. If you got loved ones who are interested in firearms, you need to get them in this program. There's no reason why and if not, just have them watch it later on, whatever the case may be. I'll keep talking about this stuff too, but this is important. Here we go. So your full-size firearm, striker fired, okay? This is typically the type that you might see police officers carry. Why? Because the barrel length is about it's over 4.5 inches, about close to 5 inches. It's not that long, but anything from 4.5 inches to 5 inches is considered to be a full-size firearm, okay? The greater the distance between the rear sight and the front sight, the greater the accuracy. And so with police officers, they typically do want to be accurate. I mean, you should want to be accurate too, but you'll see more police officers carrying full-size firearms with a magazine capacity of 17 rounds, okay? That's a magazine capacity of 17 rounds. It won't necessarily be a daily thing, Marco, but it will be. I'll announce that I'm going to do it before I do the next show. So, because I do want to talk about other things that are relative to magazine capacity of 17 rounds. Okay. And we're not going to load it for that purpose, but a higher magazine capacity is very important. Now, some of you, especially you ladies, are like, I'm not carrying that. I like to wear my tight shit, or put it in special places. You know what I'm talking about. So I get it. Let's go on ahead and downsize. Now, I want you to understand, in downsizing the firearm, we're not downsizing the capability. I'll say that again. In downsizing the firearm, we're not downsizing the capability of this firearm, okay? If you're going to carry a little firearm, you need to make sure your little one can do what the big ones do, okay? So from the full size, in 9mm, I advocate the 9mm round, okay? So after that is you heard out here what that was on that table. That's that hardware. All right, here's the compact firearm. Okay, this is again a Glock model, and I'm not specifically advocating for a brand in essence, but I am because this is the Glock, that's a model of firearms that I am showing you. But the concept for this one is compact, 9mm, striker fired. Okay, and when we're talking about the number of rounds that are in the magazine, double stacked. So here you see a clear magazine with double stack. Double stack means that these rounds are staggered in essence, and it's not called a bullet. The bullet is just a tip right here. This whole piece is called a round of ammunition. It's staggered, so it's allowing for more of a higher round capacity, okay? So when we're talking about that, you want double stacked, striker fired, compact, 9mm. Those are the 4 things you're looking for when you're trying to get this pistol, okay? Subcompact. The barrel length is about between 4 up to 4.5 inches. 4 up to 4.5 inches. It's still a great sight radius, as is lesser in essence than the full size that we just had, but it is still very accurate, okay? 9mm. And I'll show you some of the similarities and just a few of the differences, because it's not much difference between this firearm and the firearm that I just showed you. So this is a compact. If you're still saying, Mike, that's still too big, I get it. So let's go to baby Glock. I'm just playing. Here we go. But this is the baby of the bunch. This is a Glock Model 26, still striker fired, subcompact, 9mm, absolutely, and double stacked. Okay, double stacked. So this is a smaller one. It takes about a 10 to 12 round magazine, and the one that I like about these firearms, when we're talking about interoperability, I want you to understand that interoperability means that they have a lot of similar characteristics or similar capabilities where they all can operate within the same platform. So I'll show you. Okay, let's let this slide go forward. Here, you can take the baby Glock, you can take the subcompact, you can take the compact, and you can take the full size right here, and you can literally put them next to each other right here. Put them next to each other. And the only difference, let me show you on the other camera, the only difference is you'll see that they're all still the same width. They're just not the same length in barrel, okay? They all still take the same caliber, which is 9mm. So here you have a family of Glocks, all 9mm. They all take the same caliber. One barrel length is just lesser than the other. Then when you turn them around, okay, if you look at it, they all have the same double stacked magazine well. Magazine well is just simply the hole that takes the actual magazines. So saying all that to say this, all of these magazines, you said cell phone bars. It would be Alvin, right? So when I tend to get my magazines, I tend to get the full size magazines. In other words, the Glock 17 for all 3. Okay, because I can insert the magazine here. Okay, I can then insert the magazine in the compact, and it just sticks out just a little bit. Okay, I can then insert the subcompact, and it'll take that magazine too, okay? They all work together, okay? All take the same caliber, all take the same magazine. So if it doesn't have to be Glock, Kathy. It does not have to be Glock. I'm just teaching you the concept, okay? So let's go over the concept again, because I want you to get that, okay? This is the full size. First of all, let's make sure that this firearm is unloaded. I always do that, okay? Just because I'm talking on the radio or on TV or whatever, I'm not going to just get away from the safety procedures, because that is very important. We assume all firearms are loaded. Point that firearm in a safe direction. Keep your finger off the trigger, and make sure that 2 things: no magazine is in the well, okay? That's what I just did here. Checking inside of the well. No round is in the chamber, okay? As long as that takes place, we don't have to worry about any firearms or negligent discharges or anything like that, okay? So this is the full size, okay? Full size striker fired, okay? 9mm, semi-automatic pistol, full size, striker fired, 9mm pistol that takes a double stack magazine. Okay, that's the concept. These are the 4 things. Full size, what makes it a full size? Anything with a barrel length of 4.5 inches or greater. 4.5 inches or greater. That's full size. Double stacked. Why is it double stacked? Because the magazine capacity is double stacked, not single stacked. That means that your rounds inside of this magazine are staggered, okay, to allow for a higher magazine capacity. So full size, double stacked, 9mm, okay, semi-automatic pistol. That's what this one is, okay? Then we're going to downsize, and only one thing is going to change, right? We're going from full size to compact. Compact, anything with a barrel length of 4 to 4.5 inches. 4 to 4.5 inches. Jamashika Bond. Oh my God, Alvin, you're something 8. 00 Section 8. I can't with you. Compact, double stacked, semi-automatic, striker fired, 9mm pistol. Okay, that's the compact right here. And then you've got the subcompact right here, which is the semi-automatic, okay, subcompact. Anything with a barrel length of 3 to up to 4 inches is considered to be a subcompact, okay? Still double stacked, striker fired, 9mm pistol, okay? So these things are important to know. So that way when you go to the gun store and you're interested in buying a firearm, you know that this is the concept of what I'm looking for, okay? We're going to go on ahead and take a break, and then we're going to talk about the revolver for all of you all that want to carry the double shot that your granddad gave you after World War II. We'll be back with that after this.
WIFTBPM.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality Black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe Black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of Black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
Funeral expenses are costly. The Casket Store wants to help you save hundreds of dollars. You do not have to purchase a casket from the funeral home. Call now for a free in-home consultation. Call 773-445-6900. 773-445-6900.
WIFTBPM.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio.
And so, my fellow Americans, I have a dream.
You're listening to Trigger.
You want to crown them? Then crown their ass. I ain't scared of you, mother.
The one and only
Mike Brown.
My calculations are correct.
Let's begin.
All right, we're back. What's in it for the Black People Media Network again presents Triggered. I'm your host, Mike Brown, Instructor Mike. You can follow me on Facebook at Mike Brown or Instructor Mike, TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff. So you're gonna beat me up. Oh my God.
You won't be my friend, guys.
That's not true.
That's me, guys.
That's not true. Oh my God, that's not true. We gotta fix that. I gotta find out. I tried to look for you, and there's a lot of Sonia Escobar's. It was Pablo Escobar's daughter. I'm just playing. That's not true. But we're gonna go on ahead and get back and show. Don't let everybody know. Corazones vida. All right. Here we go. Go on ahead. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications to the Maze Jackson page. If you're watching on Facebook and you appreciate great content like this, go on ahead and send those stars. Send those stars because that helps support great content like this. Again, the people fail for the lack of knowledge, but that knowledge isn't always free. You know, we want that knowledge to be free, and it should be for the most part, but yeah, a little bit, right? But that knowledge is, it does cost, and you need to support the people and the places that give you this type of knowledge, okay? And it's just not a negative thing to sit there and ask for support because this stuff is just not, it costs, okay? All right, moving on. So for those of you all who want the revolver. Here we go. Here we go. The revolver. Now, some people are fans of the revolver. I'm kind of a fan, but it just depends on the circumstance in which you might consider trying to use this revolver. So this is an example of you see some of the other hardware that lies before you, but this is an example of what's called the Bodyguard 38. Okay, 38 caliber revolver. It takes a 5 shots in it. Okay, 38. Now it's pretty powerful, and the barrel length is just 2 inches. So when you've got a 2-inch barrel and you're talking about a 38 caliber round, and I actually have one and can show you. Hang tight for a slight minute. Here we go.
Ooh, I
Good.
love the revolver.
Here you go. So you got the 38 caliber revolver and the round right here. This is a pretty large round, and the bullet is the same size. The diameter is still the 9mm type bullet. Is just a longer casing. So you got to think about it. The laws of physics takes over here when we're talking about all of that energy. Okay, recoil happens when the bullet leaves the barrel, not before, and so. Just like the recoil, just like the bullet or the energy of that comes out of the barrel, it also has to come rearward too, because the energy dissipates, and it can't go on the left or on the right because the barrel is obviously strong enough to be able to handle the actual the gases that come out of that bullet or come out of that casing itself because of the pressure that is exerted. So, you're going to feel all of that in your wrist. You're going to feel all that in your hand. And that's why body mechanics is very important, because if your forearms are not strong enough, if your wrist is not strong enough, if you have, issues with, your wrist and your fingers, your dexterity is off. Having a smaller revolver may be good for concealment, but when it's time for you to actually use the firearm under stress, some things you'll feel, some things you won't feel. But how does that affect you when it comes down to training? And things like that are definitely something to take into consideration, because if it hurts during training and you haven't developed the fortitude to be able to take that, it's going to affect how you train, and then it's going to affect how you use that under stress. Not saying that it's impossible, but we want to eliminate as many barriers to the right kind of training as possible. So, this is something for you to consider. This is something that I did carry as a backup firearm, one of the backup firearms that I would carry when I was on the streets, and sometimes even as a civilian, I would carry this type of firearm as a backup. It would not be my primary. It just wouldn't, because it's not enough rounds. I mean, when you get into that deadly threatening situation, you're talking about getting into a situation where, one, there are a lot of unknowns. You don't know how many combatants or how many people you're going to be dealing with. You don't know their capabilities. You don't know how you're going to act under that stress, especially if you have not trained. If you have not trained and you have not been stress tested, you don't know how you're going to perform under that situation. And in that given situation, if you may need enough ammunition to take you from here to Missouri, and if you only got 5 shots, you're barely making it out of the city to Riverdale. You barely might, you might be going from the north side, and you might just get to, you understand what I'm saying? You don't have enough rounds for the battle, and you don't have enough ammunition, in essence, speed loaders. Just imagine dumping the rounds out of here, or dumping it this way, and then trying to individually, under the influence of stress, load each chamber. It's just too complicated. Revolvers have a place, but not necessarily one that I would consider to be a popular firearm for you to carry in the situation that is the battle. And there are plenty of videos of, I think it was a situation in Detroit where there was a man who had came in, or one of the urban cities, and there was a man who came in who tried to rob 2 white ladies who had a store. And they tried shooting the man with a revolver, and they shot 6 shots. I think only one of them hit, and it wasn't enough to stop him. And them trying to reload just wasn't working out because they didn't think about having speed loaders. A lot of people put confidence in the definition of what a gun can do instead of the actuality of the performance capabilities and what can happen, the anomalies that you might not plan for. So that's definitely something to take into consideration. So let's move on. Again, we talked about the full size, compact, subcompact. If you're looking for something of a lesser caliber, and when we're talking about caliber, we're talking about 9mm, 357, 38, 45 caliber. Let's try the 22 caliber. 22 caliber is kind of small. It really is. Don't mistake it and think that it can't kill you, because it absolutely can. But it's small enough for you to go on the range, especially if you're a new shooter and you're trying to master the fundamentals of, sight alignment, sight placement, stance, grip, aiming, breathing, trigger squeeze, stuff like that. The new Glock 44, and it's just fairly new. It's been out, I think, for a little over a year now. A lot of Glock enthusiasts weren't a fan of the Glock 44 because, of the hookups, or not the hookups, but the hiccups that happen with round performance. And sometimes they don't understand that that's common with 22 when you have malfunctions and things like that. But I love it. Okay. Glock 44 has the same compact frame as the Glock Model 19, except it's chambered in 22 caliber long rifle. It has a 10-round magazine. And in that, you're able to concentrate on the fundamentals such as stance, grip, aiming, breathing, and trigger squeeze. These things are very important to continuously go over and over again on the range. Does this cost about the same as the other Glocks? Yeah, typically about maybe $475, close to $500. But it's definitely worth its weight in gold in terms of training value. It's even worth its weight in gold in terms of I'd rather have a gun than not have one at all. So it's definitely one that you could start with. Another question that I do get asked, and if you have any questions, by the way, put them on the screen. Like this, share this, content, stuff like that. Patah said 22 calibers are deadly. I had a friend that got killed by one. He got shot under his armpit. The bullet was so small that it traveled through his body. Yeah, absolutely. And you're right, Billy Fisher. The same mechanics. What's going on, Billy Fisher? Kenny just sent $50 stars. I appreciate. 50 stars. I appreciate that. You need a concealed carry class for you and your wife. Okay, well, stay tuned. Once I get through talking about this other topic, I'll go on ahead and get to the concealed carry classes and dates and stuff like that, and how to pick your concealed carry instructor. I don't care if I'm controversial and you don't like me. That's fine. Sometimes people want to like who gives them the knowledge instead of learning from the person who they probably can't stand to give them a breadth of knowledge that is life-saving. If you're looking for somebody you like, I don't know if that's the better instructor for you than somebody who's efficient and can actually guide you and give you the skills that you need to have. I can honestly say in my training in the military and in law enforcement, few of the instructors I liked, all of them I loved. Why? Because they didn't like my ass. They wanted me to be able to survive. And that is the greatest kind of love, not the person who will ego fuck you. You heard what I said. I said it in that order, who will ego fuck you and tell you all the things you want to hear and none of the stuff you need to hear. Okay. So that's that. Let's go on ahead and go to home defense. Should we get a shotgun? I know you go to some gun stores and you hear certain people saying, well, I'm going to go on ahead and recommend a shotgun. Why? It's long. And no, I didn't bring a shotgun with me. I'm not carrying that shit. Do I bring a shotgun, or do I get a shotgun? It's long. All you got to do is point it in a direction. It has 9.32 caliber little bullets in it, or pebbles or whatever, balls in it, to where when you shoot it, it spreads out in a direction and will definitely get that person. Yeah, those things are true. But what are the body mechanics that you need to have to be able to effectively use that shotgun? I see the way some people handle regular guns on the range. Okay, regular guns on the range. And the recoil and the sound of the regular gun is enough to scare the shit out of some people that I see on the range that have a hard time simply putting a little small bullet into a larger area. So just imagine if the recoil on that small gun that you have to hold with two hands, is a lot. Just imagine what you're going to get out of a shotgun. Then you're talking about, where do you live? Can you clear those corners? Are you able to navigate around those corners with that long 16-inch tube or greater? Are you able to navigate through those things? I know some people will say, well, the solution is getting a sawed-off. You better not get a sawed-off. That's a federal offense. But getting a pistol grip shotgun. The pistol grip shotgun, you got to take that into consideration. Remember, just because you shorten the length of the barrel, just because you're not carrying a stock. A stock is something that leans against your shoulder that provides more stability when the recoil comes back, or goes to the rear, that allows you to be able to be in a stable platform so you can continue to shoot. That's what that stock does. It's for more support. And so if you take away that stock, just imagine where all that recoil is, and it's going to go. It's going to transfer right into your hand, right into your wrist. And so if you've never shot a shotgun that's, a pistol grip shotgun, you're in for a surprise. I don't even want to say a treat. You're in for a surprise. So here's a solution. Try the Roni. The Roni. This is my baby right here. Now, some of y'all are like, Mike, what is that? And is it legal? Yes, it is absolutely legal to have. Why? Because when you break it down, and I am going to do just that. I'm going to switch the camera angle. There we go. When you break it down, it is nothing more than just a pistol. That's all it is. And some of you all are looking at the handle, and you already see, oh, Mike, I see what it is. Absolutely. It is just a pistol. This is just the Glock Model 19 pistol. And as you can see, it's got some little dust in here, right? Because I've been shooting it. But it's simply just the Glock model pistol. And all this is a plastic component or a plastic part that allows you to have a optic. And in case this is the Sig Sauer Romeo 4 optic, red dot optic. Okay, you can look through it and see that it's a red dot on the inside. Plus, it has flip up rear and front sight apertures that co-witness. Okay, what is co-witness? In the event that the optic goes down, I'm still in the fight because I have my sights, which allow me to be able to aim. And to me, that's the silliest thing when I go on the range. Sonya, you got to go people watching on the range. It's so funny. But that's the most silliest thing when I go and see people on the range that are shooting with rifles and they have no optic. Like, what are you looking at? You're just going to go out there on the block and just shoot, huh?
Or when the girls walk in there with tank tops.
Oh, my God.
You're going to burn yourself.
You're going to burn yourself. Like, you're not trying to be cute in this shit, but you can't tell certain people some things. Neither here nor there. I like this Roni device because it allows you to be able to take into consideration some of the things that you have to do when it's time for you to actually clear, your house. This one comes with a sling. You can actually buy another sling, which you need to have so that way you can, sling it off of your body and stuff like that. And when you're talking about, clearing, oh, my light came on this one. Yay, y'all saw that. I done shot this one so much to the point where the light got affected. But the light did come on for a moment. I got to get a new one. But this one comes with the light, or you can even add on a light on the side right here. It has a pick rail, and pick rail just means it's the Picatinny rail, just the person who invented the rail to allow for other optics and things to be put on top of it. But if you buy this brand new, it comes with the light. It's a 123 lithium light. There we go, 123 lithium light, and it allows you so you don't have to have a light in your hands. And even though I carry a flashlight on me, okay, I don't want to carry the flashlight and carry this too. Okay, so I want to make sure that I have a light on me so that I can see, so I don't go around and start turning on lights and stuff like that. But yeah, you want to have this, and as you can see, the barrel is short, and this really isn't a barrel per se because it's not attached to the gun, so it's just a hole. It's just a tube that the bullet's going to travel through. There are no lands and grooves on the inside of here, so it's not technically considered a barrel. Okay, and this is just a foldable stock right here. Not even considered a stock. It's called a pistol brace, a grip brace for your wrist, so that way it can support your wrist while you're holding it in one hand and shooting, because this is still a pistol. And the one thing that I like about this is, remember the Glock magazines that I showed you? Kenny Cool said tenderoni. Yes, I do call it the tenderoni, and it is spelled in that same manner, Roni. Okay. Now, this is the Glock 19, but this is just a Roni, R-O-N-I, and they have more newer models, but I tend to like the old one. That's the one I've been used to using. It's by Combined, CAA, Combined Arms Accessories. I believe that's what that those initials stand for. Neither here nor there. It allows me to, yes, I am at the crib like that, Patah. How do you know? It allows me to be able to establish a good grip on this. You've got your foregrip, or the part where you can rest your hands right here. Allows you the piece where you can rest your thumb for a more stable platform. And the same magazines that I use for my pistol, guess what? Because this is a Glock 19 and I carry a Glock 19, I can sit there and use the same kind of magazines for this, okay? After this, so yes, y'all need to see the musical conductor. She gonna be the musical
conductor. One click.
That's it.
I'm gone.
That's it. And it allows for you to be able to use that magazine. Once you're done with that magazine, you can switch up to another magazine that you could have on you. Here's the Glock 19X magazine, which typically carries more rounds in it. Okay. It also allows for you to be able to use you said they're being real weird about pistol braces. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. They haven't issued a ruling on the Roni, but I appreciate that. Billy Fisher. Shouts out to Chantel Sheared Little. Hope I'm saying your name right. She sent 50 stars. Keep sending those stars if you like the content that you're seeing, because this is education. Okay, this is education. You can't. I'm sorry. Some of y'all have to pay to get into class to get this stuff. Here I am giving it to you for the FREE. One time for your holy mind. You got it, Kurt Franklin. Here we go. But you can sit there and use your pistol mags. I told you I am a fan of interoperability. And let's just say I'm ready to switch from this to my pistol. Now I can switch from this to my pistol, and they're all the same. For those of you all who got those boos in your life, not that you just met boo. I'm talking about your forever boo, like y'all together for real. Squad goals, team goals, relationship goals. This is definitely something for you to consider, because you want to make sure, okay, hold on, make sure this is clear. Okay. You want to make sure that you both have the same platform of firearm that you're going to use. And what do I mean by same platform? So here we go. You just went to a gun store, per se, Eagle. Got it. You just went to a gun store and you picked up the CZP-10 9mm, or you picked up a Glock Model 19 9mm, okay? And then you don't know anything about guns so much, or you a real boo thing like Robin. Shouts out to Robin Patrice. What's going on? She's definitely, supported, what's in it for the black people, and she supported my books and all my other stuff. I got to give you shouts out. What's going on, Robin? Robin got a real boo thing. I saw your message about that. Went into the DM and said, you know what, I'm going to go on ahead and try it. And now she's about to get married. Good job, Robin. Yay, we support that. So let's just say you got your real boo thing. Well, you don't want to sit here and, you got your Glock Model 19. And because, typically the purchases that I see when a woman asks for, what kind of gun would be good for a woman, and a man says, well, I got the right type of tool for you. Here's womp, 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 womp. You got that revolver. So now here you are with your revolver. You and Boo are dealing with a home invasion. Boo shoots her 5 rounds, and now she's out of rounds, and here you are with your revolver still in the fight. Well, she can't even help you because she's got a tool that's got no rounds. So when you're talking about what to get, right, you got your Glock Model 19 chambered in 9mm, right? And she has her Glock 26 chambered in 9mm. So now when you're talking about, oh, Boo, I'm out of rounds, she can come over to you. You can give her a mag. She doesn't have to take the rounds out of the magazine. She can just go on ahead and insert that magazine. Yep. Hey, what's going on, Kim? She can go on ahead and take that magazine and insert it into the gun. And now she's ready to continue in the fight so that both of you can defend your house. Those are the things that you need to consider. Team tactics. That's one of the things that make SWAT teams and SWAT operators great. great. That's one of the things that makes the military great, is that with the tools that they have and the tools that they use, they are able to go on ahead and switch up. And they have the same rounds. They say I have the same platforms. They're able to go on ahead and use what they have to their advantage. And that is one of the things that you definitely need to focus on when you're talking about you and boo and living together and stuff like that. It's just so much that comes to responsible gun ownership and responsible usage of that firearm. Look, if you love your wife, your husband, your fiance, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever fucking title you want to give them, you need to think like a business, I need you to do the same shit, if not greater, than I can do. What disservice am I doing to you or for you? If I tell you I love you, why would I put you at a disadvantage by giving you something that, while it does stop a threat, it may not be as effective under stress. Exactly. Along with exceptional training and practice. I cannot emphasize that enough. Practice. Yes, I see Robin. I see y'all at the range all the time. I do. And so you need to make sure that you are in the range. Speaking of concealed carry, let's go ahead and talk about it. Look, I have concealed carry classes. I think I got one. Since you all probably got pen and paper and stuff like that, I'm going to go on ahead and put out the dates. Absolutely. It's a business. I couldn't have said it better. Absolutely. You couldn't have said it better either, Robin. Thank you very much for that. Here we go. We're, the next dates that I have, for those of you all who are writing things down on pen and paper, the class is $150. $150. It does cover your gun range, your gun usage, your range fee, ammunition, ear and eye protection, and targets. It does cover that. That covers that. I do have classes coming up. It's on the south side around 79th and Champlain, stuff like that. The class, we got one that's the Monday and Tuesday, sorry about that, 19th and 20th. The Thursday and Friday, October 29th and October 30th. Saturday and Sunday, I know those of you all who have weekend, you got your weekends off, whatever, October 31st and the 1st. You might as well spend Halloween with me before they bomb your house with eggs and shit. You know that's coming. The 31st and the 1st. I got dates in November. So you can always go to Mike Brown's class, MikeBrown's. I almost forgot to spell my own name. MikeBrown's class, MikeBrownsClass.com. Click on class schedules. The class dates are there. You got to drop a $50 deposit to reserve your seat. And if you buy one of my children's books, be it online on Amazon or in person, it's $25 off the class. So you might as well get it both holistic and bulletlistic. That's only makes sense. I just said that shit though. You might as well get it both ways and save yourself $25 in the process, because we're not just going to talk about guns. We're going to talk about the childhood traumas that reside within us, that form the very basis of the motivations for the decisions that we make. Because you win every war you do not get in. Every war you don't get in, those are the wars that you win. And a smart person finds a way to win a war before you even engage in that war. Cornell Quarles says, when am I going to do a segment about sight and optic adjustments? I'm going to go ahead and do that probably a little bit later on, because those things are important. It's not enough to just stick an optic on your firearm. You need to know how to zero that optic in. That's what I had to do with this one, because you don't want to put something on there, see the dot, press that trigger, and then miss. That defeats the whole purpose. I mean, you talk about a demotivator. You won't be around because you'll be dead. We don't want that to happen, okay? So that's a great segment. I want you guys to stay ready. I want you guys to stay ready so that you don't have to get ready. You need to get yourself in somebody's concealed carry class, okay? Now, I do one-on-one training as well. $50 an hour and stuff like that. You buy your own ammunition. We meet at the range or wherever you want to do the training, and then we go on ahead and do that. Here's the criteria that I suggest that you look for in a concealed carry instructor. Like I said, it does not have to be me. And by the way, if you have questions on Facebook and on YouTube, post those questions, and then I'll go back and then interact with you all on both platforms, either now or later on, and then answer your questions, okay? You need to make sure that you're 21 years of age for you to get into the concealed carry class. But I had a class not this weekend. Was it this past weekend? I think it was this past weekend, where a father brought his 17-year-old son to the class, paid the full price and everything, brought his 17-year-old son to the class. Now, I didn't have a problem with that because his son got great training. He got on the range and shot a 30 out of 30. I mean, he did well. He did really well. And that's the type of training that you want. You want to get your kids trained. And I have no problem you having I would say a 15-year-old and up in the concealed carry class. Now, I do training for children, but then I don't curse and, stuff like that. I tone it down just a teeny bit, language-wise. I still give them the same physical training. Kenneth Steele, you asked the question, are gold dot good self-defense rounds? I carry gold dot. No, 13 isn't too young. You can, let me answer that question and I'll get to that question too about the age. You want to make sure that the range rounds that you do use and the self-defense rounds you use, you actually test those rounds to make sure that they work. I'm not saying test them in humans, no, but you want to make sure that they do work and that they cycle through your gun. I argue that unfortunately, but fortunately, one of the better ways to test your rounds to make sure how it performs in ballistic gelatin and things like that is to actually look at the reviews on YouTube, because there are other people who have the abilities and have the ballistic gelatin to tell you how that round will perform in ballistic gelatin. Ballistic gelatin is the type of gelatin that matches the toughness, if you will, of human skin to see clearly how that bullet will perform when met with that type of a muscular toughness, if you will. So that's that. So gold dots are pretty good rounds. I've used them before. They perform well. I've had no issues with them. I used the Sig Sauer rounds as well, the Sig Sauer V crowns. I actually have civil defense rounds in the other magazine that I have. Those are rounds that are very hot. They're 9mm plus P, just higher pressure. It's about a 50 grain round. So the grainage is small versus your typical 115, 124, 147 grain in a 9mm round. And I'm speaking scientific, but those are just that's the firepower, if you will, or the pressures behind what propels this bullet out of the gun and onto the target or the threat. And so the smaller grain with a higher pressure at 2,000 feet per second is not designed to go a greater distance, but up close, it is designed to do a great degree of damage. FBI studies show that most armed encounters occur between 2 and 5 yards, which is relatively close. That's 6 to 15 feet, and that's up close. When you do go to the range, thank you for that, Sonia. When you do go to the range, I do recommend that when you do shoot, don't take that target all the way down range to 7 yards to 10 yards. While it is important to master that, I recommend that you master your tighter shot groups at 5 yards. Because if FBI studies show that most armed encounters are going to occur at that distance, you want to practice at or close to those distances. If your shot groups are shitty at 5, they're not going to get better at 7 or 10 yards or 15 yards because the target is getting small. It requires you to slow it down to be more accurate. Okay. And that's why I said just practice up close at 5 yards. People see me on the range practicing at 2,000 feet per second. That's hot. But you should see the ballistics on that Patah. You should really see that. It's great. It goes through hardened trauma plates. Yeah, go look that up. Civil defense, 50 grain, 2,000 feet per second. Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. It's hot, but it works. But people see me shooting up close like, oh my God, I can hit that. Oh, I can hit that. And then when they do it, they just shitty. You see, so it's not hard to do, but you do need to do it, and you need to master it under stress. If you don't stress test yourself, you're failing yourself, okay? Let me go back to some of your questions that you have here. The age, 13. Take a break. All right, take a break. We'll take a break, and then we'll go back to the age question. After all, it is 12 o'clock. Today is Thursday, October 15th. The temperature outside is 80 degrees. I just figured I wanted to try that like we were on you get it. Come on back with Triggered with Instructor Mike.
WIFTBPM.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out chicagolegalnetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
Trigger with Instructor Mike on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Why? Why? Because someone told a great guy no.
No! God, please, no! No!
And he told that no, and he said, fuck it. I'm going to go ahead and turn that no into next opportunity. That's the latest book I just released, What I Tell Myself About No, because children who do not understand the power of rejection and the propulsion that occurs inside it becomes adults who can't take rejection, and your next opportunity could be right around the corner if you just understand how to use that no. And that's why we exist at What's in It for the Black People Media Network, because someone took a no and said, I'm going to create next opportunity. You're not silencing the voice, because that's what's in it for the black people, is the truth. Not always that you want to hear. It's the shit that needs to be said, because our ancestors fought and died to give us the right of access. And who the fuck are you to tell me no? Only on What's in It for the Black People Media Network.
WIFTBPN.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio.
And so, my fellow Americans, I have a dream.
You're listening to Trigger.
You want to crown him? Then crown her ass. I ain't scared of you, mother.
The one and only
Mike Brown.
My calculations are correct.
Let's begin.
And we are back. I was about to start rapping because all I do is shoot. That's not true. I'm going to stay in my lane. Right, I'm going to stay in my lane. Here we go. We are back. It's 12:03. Today is Thursday, October 15th, and you're listening to Instructor Mike on Triggered on What's in It for the Black People Media Network. If you are watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications. If you are watching on Facebook, go on ahead and like the Maze Jackson page and send those stars. Shouts out to Maurice Newman, who just sent 50 stars. Thank you very much. Those stars help to support great content from this network, okay? Let's go on ahead and continue with the conversation. I brought out Ma Deuce. I'm just calling her Ma Deuce. She ain't Ma Deuce, but it's the big revolver. It's a 38 caliber Smith & Wesson Model 66. Even though it's bigger than the other revolver, the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 38, guess what? This one takes 5 rounds. This one takes 6. Same thing still applies. Some of y'all probably seeing some of those old police officers on, Hill Street Blues and stuff like that carry something like that, okay? So, let me get to some of your questions. I saw your comment about the side chick, but if your side chick is your main side boo, then you same thing applies. Your main side boo. Hey, you know what? I'm just saying, relationships are not for everybody. I get it. It's not for everybody. Maybe you all just have a, exclusive friends with benefits where y'all just is no strings attached, but you got strings. You just not recognizing you're pulling them. Whatever. Hey, same thing applies. If it's somebody you love, make sure that you get the kind of firearm that's going to enable both of you all to get out of that jam when you're doing what side boos do, and then something happens and they break in the door because side boo ain't tell you she had a real boo and you got to defend yourself. You get what I'm saying? All right, here we go. So to get a concealed carry instructor, let's go to that, and I'm going to go to some of your questions again, especially about the kids class, because I see some of your questions are in there. Cornell, you said I would prefer a light hollow grain for close encounters. What's your opinion? Yeah, I agree with that. That's why I got the Civil Defense 50 grain, 2,000 feet per second. So that way, no matter what they're wearing, that bullet up close has enough pressure to defeat all that stuff. Because I'm not looking to shoot far past 10 yards, honestly. You got some people that do that with pistols. Your pistol is not a sniper rifle platform. That's designed for something else. Now, you might have to shoot something that far, but then you got to establish how that thing was a threat. We know it wouldn't be a threat to you. Maybe it would. Who knows? But how that thing was a threat, you need to be able to establish that if the case goes to court. Just something to consider, okay? So, concealed carry instructor. One thing you need to make sure is, and keep your questions going because I'm going to go back and scroll through them and make sure that I answer them. When you're looking for a concealed carry instructor, you want someone who doesn't give a shit about pissing you off. So already, if you're in your feelings, fuck it, you don't need a gun for sure, because we're talking about putting in serious work, doing the most unthinkable thing to stop a person from doing something to you that could end your life. Okay, I see some of these advertisements out there where you got, okay, I'm the concealed carry instructor and I've got 100 5-star reviews or all 5-star reviews. No, you mean to tell me in a discipline such as firearms, where we have no pre-screening process? Let's talk facts. It's not like police. It's not like law enforcement. We don't, or the military. We don't have a pre-screening process or a test where we can put you through psychologically to see your temperament in terms of whether or not you can handle this training. What we see is what we get. So you mean to tell me you passed everybody? You mean to tell me you didn't kick not one person out of class? Not one person didn't like the fact that they were there for some other reason and you saw through the bullshit and you kicked them out and you got 100 5-star reviews? You made everybody. I don't want to get training from you because you're just looking to pass me. You're just looking to, give me that certificate. And it's true. Some people don't want their training. They just want their concealed carry. Why? Because they think they got that gun and, they're insecure. Some people want to carry a gun because they're insecure. And you think that gun is going to somehow secure you. And then you mess around and find out someone who's more secure and more than just that firearm. And they have the confidence and the mental temperament to be able to handle the stress that you can't handle. And they kill you with your own shit. Or they kill you and take your shit. Right? So you need to make sure that you get an instructor who's not here for you per se to feed your ego. They want you to survive, and they're going to tell you what you need to know so that when that time comes, you'll remember the things that you were taught under the influence of the stress and the nervousness that they didn't give a shit about. Okay, that's one thing you need to look for. Two, you need to look for somebody who, the prices are reasonable and stuff like that. Somebody who's not going to break the bank. When concealed carry first came out, oh my God, they were monopolizing, the thing that's out there. I mean, they were charging just astronomical prices. Kind of like what people are doing now with the ammunition, because ammunition is scarce, because, I'm going to say scarce. They're starting to get more ammo now. But, in the wake of George Floyd's death and, all this, the elections that's going on right now, same thing that happened when Obama was said to be getting rid of guns through legislation and stuff like that. Just gun sales and gun classes just surged. It just went up.
I didn't even think about that.
Yes, it just went up. And then when it went up, now people are charging higher prices for the rounds because, you can almost find Full Metal Jacket rounds, anywhere, but the hollow points are the ones that, are slowly starting to come in. And so you want to make sure that the price is fairly reasonable, anywhere from between $140 to $160, stuff like that. That's about a pretty decent price. Now, if they're offering more stuff beyond the 16 hours, that's fine. And if they want to charge more stuff than that's fine. If it's beyond those 16 hours, which I honestly think that 16 hours for me isn't enough to say, hey, I'm ready to go out there, strap on that gun and do the thing, which is ironic. You want police officers to have more training, but dare we suggest that civilians go through more training? Oh, no, I don't have time for that. Who has time for that? I'm not a police officer. I'm not going into these situations every day where I have to defend myself and I have to do this and I have to do that. Yeah, you want to eat your cake and have it too. I get it. Whatever. Just be lucky. Here we go. Yeah, they were charging high for those classes. Hey, my daughter's watching. You should be in school. This is probably lunch. Hey, shouts out to Madison. Hey, baby. I saw that she's watching right now. I hope you're on lunch break. She does good in school. Straight A's through pre-K. Everybody say hi to Madison. Hey, baby. Okay. Gotta love your kids. Got to. Jesus Christ. They will change you for sure. Here we go. Denise, you said you were able to grab 2 boxes of hollow points, but that was the limit there. Yeah, that was the limit. Pata said that they were charging as fuck. My daughter knows what that word means. For those classes, like they're charging for weed at the dispensary. Yeah, that's people are monopolizing on that. And so, even I had to go up because of COVID restrictions. I was 100 and now I'm 150, but that's about average, price. So make sure that the prices are reasonable. Make sure that when you go into a concealed carry class, okay, make sure that when you go into that class, make sure that when you pay that $150, it at least includes your gun usage, range fee, ear and eye protection, ammunition, and targets. Sometimes people will sell you on a lesser price than that. They'll say the class is, $100, or the class is this, or the class is that. Read the fine print. I say again, read the fine print. Read the fine print, okay? 1, you can attend the class, but 1, you need to have a gun. That gun needs to have things to come out of it, right? Those are the rounds, right? The third thing, you need to have something to shoot at to score those things that impact, that are impacted by the rounds. That's the target, okay? So you need to make sure that you have those things. That's typically where you see that price and you're attracted by that price, but you're not factoring in the gun, you're not factoring in the ammunition, you're not factoring in the range fee, you're not factoring in the ear and eye protection, and you're not factoring in the targets and stuff like that. And so make sure that your class, even if you come to me or someone else, whatever, read the fine print to make sure it includes that stuff. I tend to be one of the firearms instructors that's heavily on social media and been on social media for quite some time. I got your question, Pata. I saw that. Oh my God, you said one guy is trying to charge. I saw that. Let me get to that, Denise. I saw. Is he the kind of guy that's going to make you a celebrity overnight? I saw that class. We'll talk about it. Here we go. Oh my God. Has anybody taken that class? Oh man. I'm talking about it right now. Has anybody taken Twister's concealed carry class? I got to ask that question because a lot of people sent me that brochure that Twister and Creative Scott. I know Creative Scott. He's on the west side of Chicago. He's got a concealed carry class. Did anybody take Twister's class? I think he was charging like $5.99 for it. And I have no information whatsoever to suggest that he's a good instructor or a bad instructor. I don't know. Shouts out to Twister. He's on the west side. But I just don't know. And he could be. Don't sleep on it. Like, I guess his name is Charles Tillman. Charles Tillman, former NFL football player. He's a special agent for the FBI. So don't sleep on that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I said nope. I think he was trying to line his pockets. This wasn't even Twister. Oh, that was somebody else. Okay. I was just wondering, has anybody taken this class? Because when I saw that and what comes with that class, I'm curious as to whether somebody was going to take it, because being in this business and having been in it for the time that I've been in it, I know the dynamics that, occurs when, yeah, he has a concealed carry class, Kenneth. Yeah, Twister has a concealed carry class. And I'm just like, I'm curious I will spend the money. Do you hear me? As an instructor, I am not immune from getting more training. I love training, and iron sharpens iron. I will go to a class and trade notes. And yeah, Peanut Tillman, I will go to class and I will trade notes and I will sit there as a student. I am humble. I remain hungry and thirsty for knowledge. And if those of you all are biblical scholars, and if this thing is even true, if God can use a donkey to sit there and deliver you a message, if you can learn about your ass from an ass, then you can you should be able to learn about anything from someone else. And so I want to pay to sit in his class to learn from him, because I'm telling you, if he teaches real well, boy, I'm telling you, I'll rock with him. I'll say his name. I'll say his hashtag, say his name. All right, moving on. But make sure that you don't fall into the gimmick of looking at price, because price alone is not just it. That's not just it. You want to make sure that your instructor is going to challenge you to be better than you are, because that situation is going to require that you rise to that occasion by sinking to the level of your training. And Alvin E. Norton says for easy payments of $19.95, and if you order now, they'll throw in a set of Ginzu knives. Alvin, oh my God, moving on. Let me get to some of your questions. You said, I understand prices are crazy going to Crown Point on the 24th. And yeah, that's what you really have to do for ammunition. So let me give you a tip for ammunition stocking up, which is something you should have been doing, but welcome to where we are now. You know, don't go to one store and think you're going to buy 7 or 8 or 9 boxes. One of the hints and tips that I'm going to give you to stocking up on ammunition is just maybe buy a couple of boxes at one store, then travel to another store and buy a couple of boxes there, and then just travel to the next store and just buy a couple of boxes there, you know, and then travel to maybe another store and just buy a couple of boxes there. And make sure that this is something that you budget and you plan for in as much as you can, because when you go in there and you're trying to buy a crap ton of ammunition, one, you're being selfish, okay? And I get it, you know, you got to be selfish before you're selfless, but gun stores are going to typically limit the amount of ammunition that you purchase, okay? Another tip I'm going to give you is that make sure that you have extra magazines. Make sure that you have extra magazines. Now, magazine is just a French word for storage box. That's all it is. But make sure that you have extra magazines. The reason why is because this spring is under a lot of tension, okay? And this spring that's on the inside of this magazine is what causes the rounds to be able to push up when one round is ejected from the magazine. And if you leave your rounds in there, you're going to weaken over time the strength on that actual spring to where when it's actually time for you to use it, you'll tend to have malfunctions because it will be failure to feed because the rounds won't be pushed up to actually meet the feeder ramp that's attached to the chamber. I know I just went scientific on you, but at least you'll have the notes to remember that stuff. So make sure that you get extra magazines. If you got magazines you go to the range with, make sure those are separate, but make sure that those are separate and the same kind that you would use in that real situation. You don't want to necessarily train with something different. You want to keep a lot of consistency with your training and the tools that you will use in that given situation. Okay. Here's another thing. The SIRT pistol. Shot indicating resetting trigger. Okay. That is this kind of pistol. You can go on Amazon. I think they still sell them on Amazon. You can go on Amazon and purchase this kind of pistol. Now, this does not shoot live rounds, but it does shoot a laser. It does shoot a laser. Here we go. Now, this is, again, the shot indicating resetting trigger, okay, pistol, about $220, okay? And you can find that online at www.amazon, or you can go to sirt.com. And this pistol is modeled after the Glock. It is not the actual Glock, but it's modeled after the Glock, okay? Now, in that, okay, once you begin to press the trigger, as you can see, there's the laser, right? Just like that, the laser. Good. I'm not going to shine it too much into the camera, but you can see that this is very accurate. It allows you to be able to take a little small Allen wrench and just go on ahead and adjust it so that the laser can hit the sight alignment, sight placement, stuff like that, okay? Yeah, sight alignment, sight placement, and your rear sight and your front sight and things like that. You want to talk about being able to maximize the training in terms of your body mechanics and making sure that you get the fundamentals of stance, grip, aiming, breathing, trigger squeeze. You cannot go wrong with these pistols. I bought them at a law enforcement training conference. I'm a part of an association, international association, and these things are worth their weight in gold. They are worth their weight in gold. You know, how many of you all actually play hide and go seek around your house? You know, how many of you all make it a family night to play? Let's play home invasion night, right? And yeah, somebody like, why would I do that? Well, because when a home invasion happens, fool, what you gonna do? You're gonna be scared as shit, right? You'll be surprised. I showed you the video, or maybe I didn't, but maybe on Monday, I'll show you the video of that 5-year-old boy who sat there. It was in South Bend, Indiana. And it was during a home invasion where 5 guys, say they're black, call it spade a spade, 5 black guys entered into that place. and tried to, rob them. And in fact did. The only person who was brave, like really, really brave, that didn't care, no cap, whatever you want to say, that 5-year-old boy, I'm telling you, he threw that toy, that Hot Wheels car or something like that at him, and then just walked up and started slapping him, just brave, And sometimes people are stunned, in essence, by the bravery, the audacity of you to try to survive this encounter. I wanted it easy. You want to make it hard, the audacity of you. You need to be brave like that 5-year-old little boy. That was amazing, okay? So you play home invasion at home, and you got one of these pistols, and just imagine you can go to Walmart. I'm gonna do a video on this because this is wonderful. Go to the range and get you a target. Okay, preferably one that is a human or that has a human picture. Yeah, you saw that video, Alvin. Has that human picture on there, someone holding a gun. Okay, you can go online and purchase those too on Amazon. And go to Walmart. Get you one of those large poster backings. That's, cardboard, has a little, plexiglass. I don't want to say plexiglass, but it's hardened plastic. And, just holds the poster in there. Get you out maybe 5 or 6 of those. And then take one of these, and you can actually hide them in the house, or have someone else hide them in the house so you don't know where they are. And then, when they knock on the door and tell you that you're ready, go on ahead, and when you go in, you're able to play home invasion. You'll learn things about your house in terms of hiding places, and you got to be honest. If you turn around and hit that corner and the threat got you, you need to be honest. So now that reminds you that next time you go into that house, you need to be aware of that special spot where that target was hidden, where you missed it the last time. You're in the greatest training ground ever, and that's your place and where you live. But you are doing yourself a disservice if you do not practice in your own home. And it can be a family event. Okay, it could be a family event. Shout out to Shaka Strong, who just sent 50 stars. Going to catch the replay later on tonight. Yes, great info. Please catch the replay. If you're watching on Facebook, like the Maze Jackson page, share this video, tag people in this video who need great firearms information, okay? You say you claim you ready for something that may happen in the future. God, I hope it doesn't. Damn, I hope it doesn't. I hope it does not. Oh, that's another conversation. That's coming up. Jesus, that's coming up. We are not ready. We are not ready. We're just playing catch up, fool. Okay, let's get back to it. Here we go. Which is going to lead me to the thing that we talked about, or May has talked about earlier today, and I'm going to talk about that just shortly. Making sure that you go around and, when you press that trigger, your drills, are you all over the place, or are you just pressing that trigger with precision? This stuff will greatly increase your body mechanics and save you money on ammunition. So that way, when you get into the range, you may only need to use a box or two. Until you get outside of some outdoor range, you might need to do more training. I'm telling you, I love this thing. I love this thing. I really, really do. Just to get that extra training without the price of the ammunition. This is worth its weight in gold. $220. Now, some of y'all are like, man, $220, that's a lot. Well, let me lead you to the National Association of Funeral Home Directors, which will tell you the cost of a funeral and send your body to AR leak. Just make sure you got your casket and everything planned, because when that thing happens, if it does, you are not going to be ready. You are not going to be ready. That's not how the body and brain is designed to work. Okay? Now, earlier on Maze's show, okay, and I was watching it, and those of you all who are just listening in, go on ahead and make sure that you check out Maze Jackson, Maze Jackson's morning show every day from 7 a.m. Was it 6 a.m.? I'm sorry, I said 7. 6, that's probably when I wake up. 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., only on What's In It for the Black People Radio Network. It was a great show to watch today, because they were talking about, how many of us can actually find someone who's black in power that, if you needed a job, they could put you on. And then I opined things in the comments such as, shit, how many of us make guns? And, or can we do anything without white people? I think that was another part of the conversation too, and I opined when it comes down to the doggone anything gun related, which is my specialty, the answer is no. Shit, everything that I got on, every skill that I got, don't get me wrong, I had black instructors, right? But everything that I got on and every skill that I've learned, guess where they came from? White folks. Right. It's just what it is. It's how it is in a self-defense thing. You got black instructors who are really good at what they do. But guess what they learned it from? White folks. It's just what it is. I got the Glock. That's an Austria company. The Smith & Wesson, that's an American company. Dan Wesson, those are white guys. I got the CZ, that's the Czech Republic. I can't even say it right. The Czech Republic. I believe that's in the continent of Europe. Right? I'm still waiting for the Umbutu 45 caliber. I'm waiting for the African Umbutu Aluate 9mm. If you know where the Umbutu Aluate 9mm is, please let me know so I can support it. Damn. Do we make guns? I'm going to trigger you guys now because I thought about that conversation today, right? What do we do to the smart folks in our community who could have been the gun manufacturers, who could have developed the technology to be the first black gun that still shoots white bullets, whatever. But I'm just saying, what do we do? I was one of those kids who was quasi-smart, and I had to run from home. We got Todd Stroger in the morning. Todd may not admit it. He was nerdy.com maybe. And he probably had to run a couple of times. I'm just saying, the intellect that we need to have in our community to be able to manufacture, such great tools. In Israel, you're right. In Israel, they make their own weapons. The 50 caliber Desert Eagle, I believe that's a part of that, right? Hell, even the Hispanics over in the Jimenez. Sometimes it's not a good firearm, but hey, it's one. If you watch Vice, I think Vice had a show. It might be Vice, one of the two. But it's on Netflix. They make guns over there. You can literally watch them manufacture the grip carrier group. And then they call them ghost guns. You can get them without a serial number. They manufacture the slide and you see them making it in jungles down there. Shout out to Frederica for the stars and Patah for the 300 stars. I appreciate that. The Uzi, yes, it is Israeli too. Look, can we be honest? After the late 70s, when we started to assimilate or we started to integrate, I guess, we stopped making shit. We stopped making stuff. We stopped inventing. We invented the hot comb and the other thing, the Garrett Morgan and the traffic light. You hear about these things during Black History Month. Where's the Umbutu Alouette 45? Where is it at? I'm trying to get it. Right, I want to get the Umbutu that has a striker fire system, and you can put it inside of the magazine. And don't get mad if y'all got African friends watching. You better not send their ass at. I'm telling you, or yet the Spear Chuck 9mm. Where is the Spear Chuck 9mm? I'm just saying, right? We're laughing. It's funny. But I will buy the Spear Chuck. If the Spear Chuck can outdo the Glock, I will buy it, okay? We need to manufacture our own stuff. And I don't know and maybe I'm jaded. I'm going to be honest. Maybe I'm jaded. I've been honest, right? But maybe I'm jaded by my experience. Excuse me. Maybe I'm jaded by my experience in terms of, what I've been exposed to really ask that question, do I want to just have like black owned just stuff 100%? Don't you tell the Africans, Tucson, hello, Mr. Brown, we have heard you on the What's in It for the Black People radio, and we are going to get you.
It's okay. I have a couple princes. that I'm sending checks to. No! So I'm gonna be married soon. God. What are you talking about?
I will give you the Umbutu Alouette if you send me a check for $250 and put it in this account, and we will give you $1 million. Okay, I'm sorry. But, do I want to be without, like, this holster I got is by Safariland. That's not a black-owned company. The Mag Carrier's Black Hawk. That's a white-owned company, and they make quality products. Like, okay, maybe we don't make guns, right? But what about the other stuff that are needed for operators? The magazine carriers. I could take this off if I could take it off right here.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it.
You're right, because I have Mexican-made holsters, and we have shoulder guards, and we have
yes.
I don't know what you call it, but
Yeah. And they do have those too. You know, when you look at those products, look at where it's made from. Why is it the Chinese or other people are the only ones that can manufacture stuff? Why can't we manufacture stuff too? You know, I like to be able to see that, you know, and that was another question that was asked, is that Mays had asked a question about, is there anybody that can put you on? And I get it, Toussaint. You were talking about homegrown weaponry. I get it. But who showed up on the coast of Miami to get us back after we were taken into? I'm going there. See, you know I'm about to do it. I'm about to go there because when you got Jessica Lynch, is that her name? I'm sorry, I think that was her name. Or when you got these other people that are hostage in these other countries, they go back and they go get their ass. You ain't about to sit there. Now, they might negotiate for a little bit, but then they gonna go get their ass. Why? Because they value them. I'm still waiting for Chief Umumbutu to come over to the coast of Miami and say, we are here, we want him back. I want to hear that. And teach me about the Umumbutu Aluwate 45, and I want to learn how to shoot it. They got guns over there too. But when you see the guns over there, what do they have? AK-47s, other guns, right? Other guns made by other countries in Africa. You see what I'm saying? Don't tell me about this. Look, I am not about to be at war with a spear. Now, I'll carry a guidon as a part of a battalion, but I am not about to be at war when other people got AK-47s and Glocks and 6 hours, and here I am with the Umumbutu Aluwate, and it's not a 45, it's a spear. You're not about to get me to. We're gonna be back. We got more stuff to talk about. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Trigger with Instructor Mike.
WIFTBPM. I was going to ask you, so growing up, did you ever have an old racist family in your neighborhood? Did you have one live next to you or one down the street? Just somebody's house that you know on the block, you didn't want to go nowhere near that house. The neighbor who was directly behind us had a real problem coming outside seeing my white mother and my black father.
We got us the gun line.
This dude built an 8-foot fence, more like 10 foot.
So they put up the Huck Finn joint.
Exactly. That shit looked like a castle. You know, my dad, he's a big guy, football player guy, my dad guy who walks over there.
Old school
and then
black.
He's like, I don't appreciate these apples in my yard. He's like, motherfucker, we don't even have an apple tree. These are your apples.
Do you like apples?
Your kids are throwing apples over here. Okay, there's that little space, but there's still a fence. So they're right there looking at each other.
Tell them about the gun line, boss.
And I said something like, yeah, Dad. And that dude said, shut up, you little monkey. Leroy stuck his hand over the fence.
You're gonna die, clown!
Grabbed dude by the neck.
Run.
And proceeded to pull him halfway over this fence. Like,
Finish him.
Mrs. Wheeler comes running out. Oh, Leroy, don't do that. It's not worth it. Blah, blah, blah. My dad was getting ready to kill this dude. And within 6 months, that guy moved away.
Don't cross the gun line, boss.
Right, the gun line, boss.
Chicago Famous, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Funeral expenses are costly. The Casket Store wants to help you save hundreds of dollars. You do not have to purchase a casket from the funeral home. Call now for a free in-home consultation. Call 773-445-6900. 773-445-6900.
WIFTBPM. Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio.
And so, my fellow Americans,
I have a dream.
You're listening to Trigger.
You want to crown him? Then crown their ass. I ain't scared of you, mother.
The one and only
Mike Brown.
My calculations are correct.
Let's begin.
Hey, we are back. Oh, shouts out to Sonya. Man.
Wait, shouts out.
Shouts out to Sonya. I know you had to been the one to put together that doggone hard work. It's a hard work, man. Cadence, boy, I'm telling you, you got to be fired up, ready to run miles.
When I work out.
I'm telling you that. Ooh, I haven't seen the gym since gym, and he was around the corner yesterday. Shoot. All right, you're watching the Trigger with Instructor Mike. I'm your host, Instructor Mike. Shouts out to Maze Jackson in the morning show. What's in it for the Black People Media Network? The musical conductor, Sonia Escobar. Yay, let's continue. All right, so somebody looked that up. Y'all looked that up. I'm going to look that up too. What do they shoot in Africa? because I want to know and why we don't have that here. Let's also look at manufacturing too. I would love to be able to support a black-owned business that manufactures holster. Don't give me some cheap shit because I'm going to do a review about it and I'm going to talk about that shit if it's cheap. I'm talking about some quality stuff that is, that if it's got a cost to it, put it out there. Right? Put it out there. That's the stuff that, maybe we don't make guns. That's fine. You got holsters. You got mag holders. Hell, what about some cargo pants, some tactical equipment, some clothing, hats, something, right? Put flashlights, something. Look, how can we make the freaking flashlight, but we don't have the stoplight with Gary Moore? I say Gary Moore. I'm talking about the comedian. I think they might share the same name. I don't know. But how are we, manufacturing just, other things like stoplights and pressing combs and all other kinds of stuff. And we, don't have the other stuff that comes with it. Slings and gun bags. Come on, man. Come on. We got to be a part of that. We got to be a part of that. All right. No, it's not a complicated design, Tucson. I saw the question that you asked, is the gun a complicated design? No, it's not. It's not a complicated design at all. It's actually very simple, but you need to be a machinist. You need to understand how, metals and how they work, how to test it, stuff like that. And that's my novice knowledge of gun manufacturing and things like that. So I don't know. I don't specialize in physics except understanding ballistics and things like that. So it's a lot to it. But it's not that complicated. But guess what? Just imagine all the doggone smart folks that we had in our schools that you fucked with, the bullying and shit like that. Those who were, wanted to sit at the front of the class and be real smart and stuff like that. Those could have been our doctors, our lawyers, our machinists, our inventors and stuff like that. But you kept fucking with them in school. And so now they became something else and, they became cops. What if that was the case? What if it's the case that the black cops that are in our neighborhood that we might have a problem with, what if those were the ones who were going to be the next doctors or lawyers or machinists or inventors, and you fucked with them so much they became the police? That is karma like a motherfucker, ain't it? I can't.
Or maybe less than 15%?
Yeah.
Less than 8%?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know the numbers, but I'm just saying, what if that was the case? You made him run home, and now you running away. It's crazy. Not anything to be, laughing at. CVS machine shop, lathing, milling machine. Absolutely. I went to CVS. I'm so glad I went to CVS. Yes, I did. 2100 East 87th Street. Shouts out to my old principal, Betty Dispenza Green. Yeah, and my music teachers and stuff like that. When we had a great degree of vocational schools and you could actually go in there and actually come out and have the knowledge. I wonder where those machinists, because we had a machine shop, an auto mechanic shop and stuff. I wonder where those guys and those ladies are. That would be good to know. That would be real good to know. Maze, you all were talking about that this morning. Kenneth, you ain't shit. He said, I hate my guns because they black. That, you know what? All right. Oh my God. Tucson said, I actually believe that's who becomes the police. I can tell you that. That is definitely true. That's definitely true. So be careful who you teach your kids to bully, because they could be the next cop that will shoot your ass in a heartbeat. I'm just telling you, where do you think that fear comes from? Moving on. You were talking about being put on, in essence. Being put on. Who can we call in our community that's black and in power who could put us on to jobs and get you a job? Okay. But we're ignoring some of the folks who may not be in power per se, who's in a type of power. You know what I mean by that? Your job creators, your teachers, your instructors, right? Everybody wants to be a fucking CEO and nobody wants to be the janitor, right? And so if we put you on this job, are you going to last? Are you going to survive? Right? I think Mays this morning was talking about, the mafia and stuff like that. If you look at mafia ran organizations, nobody comes in a made man, or maybe even if you're a part of the family, somebody has to do the running. Somebody has to do the small labor, the dirty work, the things like that. You got people who are so prissy and so lazy. I didn't say pussy, I said prissy, who are so lazy. They won't even do the small laborious work. They can't break a sweat. They can't work hard, but you want to be put on a fucking job? You want to be the CEO, but you don't want to be a janitor? How does that work? How does that work? Where is the work ethic behind the job? You know, work is a narcotic for me. I like it when I get to go into a job and I'm paid not so okay wages or whatever the case may be, but I can sit here and I can put in way more than the work that I'm being paid to do. Why? Because I see my future. I see that in the future, when someone robs me of an opportunity, I got all this free skill sets that I've just acquired. All these classes that I went through, all the times that I volunteered to take out the trash or volunteered to be on that project or took the initiative to do that. You gotta have $1 million mindset. You can't sit here and want $1 million with a minimum wage ass work ethic. It doesn't fucking work that way. It does not work that way. So you want to be put on to some shit. Part of the reason, I'm about to burn some people. Part of the reason why we don't get put on by our own is because they fucking know the truth. Why should I put you on? What is it in your resume that says that I should put you on? Because you black? You need something more than just that black card, baby. That shit don't work like that. It doesn't work like that. And so when are we going to be honest about that? And I can speak with a great degree of certainty and expertise when it comes down to that. I've been running a security training program. A security training program. You want to talk about security? A security training program. I've been running this since 2014. Why I gotta sit here and spend hundreds and thousands of dollars in fucking advertising when people are complaining about no jobs? You should be running to the place that's gonna help you get a job. I sat there and offered free classes. Free. F-R-motherfucking-E-E. Classes. And I gotta beg you to come in. Well, maybe I don't want to do security. Well, maybe you want to be fucking broke. Ain't that some shit? Got the nerve to get mad at the Hispanics for what they do and shit like that in their own communities. They will, look, I don't want to be that one person that says I got Hispanic friends, whatever. But I do, right? And they'll sit there and tell me, we don't have a problem working these shitty ass jobs to do what we have to do to make it work. That's called fucking community. You think I want to do this shit? I don't want to fucking do this shit. No, but we do what we have to do to make it work. Yes, we can complain about this shit all day. That's why we speak in Spanish. We want you to fucking hear it. Chinga. You know, you sit there and say certain things, but that's what it is, though. You do that, and then you get to a certain point where you can actually sit there and live comfortably. Do our kids understand that? Hell no, because your ass don't even understand that. And they got the greatest example because they got your ass not teaching them about work ethic. So you want to be put on? The fuck? I'm going to put you on just to disappoint myself. That's a bad deal. So I'm going to sit there and say, well, we got your resume. Well, we regret to inform you. We thank you for the opportunity for you to come out, and you did a great job. But we chose to go with someone who better suits our needs. Why? Because I got a mission. I got a goal. I got a thing I want to accomplish, and you just don't fit it. Oh, come on, man. Hook me up. Fuck that. I'm not hooking you up. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And it don't have nothing to do with the village, in essence, not helping you. Why would I sit there and invest when you hadn't invested in yourself? All this church your ass done went to and been exposed to, and you're not a good and faithful steward over the little that God has given you? Why should I give you an opportunity when you haven't mastered what you need to master within the self? Come on now. It's the truth. And ask these people who are out here, who are black, who are employed. That's what I want to see. Let's get some human resources experts and specialists on the line. Not on the line, but in the station, in the studio. Let's get them to talk about the job opportunities that are out there, you know, that are out there. And let's see how many. Let's host a What's in It for the Black People job fair. I'm going to go ahead and put that shit on. I'm going to show you what that fucking action is. Let's go ahead and put it. What's in it for the Black People job fair on, and let's see how many of you all are actually gonna come, because I could sit here and tell you about the past. We gonna make that shit the present, and you gonna sit there and get your people a doggone job. Now watch your people sit there and tell you, I ain't trying to do that shit. We gonna sit there and see. freaking eyeballs on me. We're going to sit there and see how many people are actually willing to get out there and be a part of the solution to solving crime and police relations or whatever the case may be by security and other type of trades and things like that. We're going to put that shit on. I'm going to put it together and we're going to put it on. Let's see how many people are going to go on ahead and put their money where their mouth is. Because I'm tired of all this talking. We're going to continue to talk. We're going to continue to talk. We're going to continue to talk and fucking talk and talk and all this talk. I'm tired of damn talking. I want you to go ahead and put in some action because after your emotions have subsided, after your feelings have died down, your ass still broke. You still asking with your hand out. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with asking. But at what point in time are you going to do for self? Well, every time they do for self, the white man comes by and knocks it down. You saw what happened on the Black Wall Street. Shut that shit up. That's the past. When we gonna do it again, fool? That's the resilience of our ancestors. Every time they were knocked down, they got the fuck back up. So don't say we are not our ancestors, because that is absolutely right. Some of you fucks can't even take a paper cut. Thank you for those 100 stars, Ken of Steel. I'm going to read some of these comments. Here we go. My family knew politicians and I refused to go ask for a job like other family members. I worked for my name. Absolutely. Absolutely. One of those questions I think that was posed today is, how can you even survive as a black business without a politician? Me. Politicians can't stand my ass. You know why they can't stand me? They can't. Now, some do. Some have come taking courses with me. I shall not say their name. I will not. They have the right to be able to protect themselves and do so without you knowing who the hell it is. But, yeah, for sure. Here's this. They don't like the agenda that I promote, the firearms, because it's the antithesis of the Democratic agenda, because they want to keep your ass defenseless. They want to keep you blind to the shit that you need to know to unfuck your fuck. We still stuck in fuck. You got so many people that'll sit there and call Mike Brown and people like me, or even Candace Owens, dare say her name, a coon because of the things that she say, instead of sitting here analyzing, is there some truth to that? Now, that don't mean you got to go ahead and lean hard to the right and go Republican, but you spend so much time talking about people instead of learning from them. The Honorable Louis Farrakhan even said that you can learn from the person you consider to be your enemy. You can learn from that person. But we don't bother to learn from them because they have an agenda. We automatically cut them off instead of taking a piece from what they have and applying it to yourself. They're giving you the secrets that you need to know. Jay-Z, go listen to the song about OJ by Jay-Z. He trying to give you the game and you won't even listen. We don't call that flashing shit that you doing money. We don't call that shit over here. And even in this wonderful world that, Tucson wants to have in this, caste system and destroy it all, whatever. When you build whatever you have to build, there's still going to be a system of class, because there's still going to be a system of those who don't do and a system of those who do. There are going to be some who are more motivated than others to keep this village up, and then there are going to be some who just want to ride on the tails of other people. Even in the Hispanic community, even in the white community, you still got class warfare in between that, right? Just because you white doesn't give you the golden card to everything, because whites treat whites not right too. It's a human thing. That's what it is. It's a human thing. There will always be differences. Even if America was destroyed today, there would be another shit. If America was destroyed today, there would be no world. Boy, let me tell you something. Y'all want to go in here and start shit with white folks? Are you sure you want to do that shit? Are you sure you want to do that? I hear you out there. Are you sure you want to do that shit? Let me tell you, that's something called mutually assured destruction. Do you? I hear him out there. Do you understand what mutually assured destruction is? They have built such a strong system. They have built such a strong system to the point where it is mutually assured that if America gets wiped out, the whole world will blow. The whole world will blow. Just go on YouTube and just look at how many nukes are out there. We have well over 4,000 nuclear devices all over the world, in our silos in country, on nuclear ballistic submarines. Dude, are you sure you want to do that? Do you understand what makes the United States of America the most powerful? I didn't say the greatest. That's a subjective thing. But the most powerful country in the world? I don't know if it's for our economics. I don't know if it's for our academics. I think other countries rank us when it comes to that. But we are the most lethal. We are the most lethal. Here, ask Hiroshima and Nagasaki. We are the most lethal. We will destroy villages and take what we want if diplomacy does not work. Why do you think other nations work with us, right? Are you sure that's what you want? Because if you destroy that, what do you have to replace with it? What do you have to replace with it, right? We still waiting for the Umumbutu Aluwate 9mm. Where is the Aluwate emoji or the Kujajakalia nuclear weapon? Where is the Imani Trident missile? Where is that? Do any of you all know how to drive or how to operate an attack submarine? Hell, you don't get offended when I say shit. I don't give a shit. Do you know how to swim? If you don't know how to swim, have you been on a ship? Do you know how to tread water in blue water? Do you know the difference between blue water Navy, brown water, green water Navy? We still talking about slaves on ships. Have you ever been on a ship besides the Carnival cruise? Do you know how to jump out of a plane on a halo opening? I think there's other things that we could sit here and talk about. Mays talked about this morning about the long voting lines that are out there and how crazy it is that the alleged or actual voter suppression that's going on. Did we plan for that shit? It's long lines in the DM doggone V for you to get your driver's license. Why don't we have chairs for those senior citizens? You got all these people that's out here cooking for the homeless. Where are those people that's got meals to help support and motivate you to stay your ass in line? That's a part of that community. But you say you fucking ready for some. You ain't ready. Now that doesn't mean you're not powerful, but you're not fucking ready. We got resources and we got things that we can do in our community to keep the spirit up and to motivate us. I'm tired of all these fucking excuses. Because that's exactly what I see them as. Fucking excuses. I don't want to hear about that shit. We knew they were going to be outside in line and it's starting to start to get cold. It's going to start to get raining. Where are the warriors in our community? Where are those that's going to sit outside and comfort and motivate people? Where are those folks that's asking for votes? Where are they at? They know you're going to stand your ass in that line because they already bought and sold your ass on the narrative of the bullshit they got. And after election time, are they going to be around? We'll find out. You already know the fucking answer to that question, so you don't need me to answer that question. Right now on the ballot, my daughter's mother, she went and she voted. And there's a question that's on the ballot and you all don't even know it's there. Ain't this some shit? Should the state of Illinois restrict the sale and possession of firearms that have been defined as assault weapons or magazines that can hold more than a certain number of rounds of ammunition? They're starting to come after the guns. You know, when y'all saw that shit in the wake of George Floyd and you went out and you bought that AR-15 that it might be legal for you to own in any place outside of Chicago, yeah, they're about to come for your shit. This is not a city of Chicago thing. This is a state of Illinois ballot question. And I bet you're going to sit there and pick yes. I bet you're going to do that shit because that's the Democratic thing to do. I ain't Democratic or Republican. Fuck them both. Love them both. I'm independent, baby. but they coming for the guns. They coming for your guns. So not only did they sell your ass weed, and they know you're going to fight over that shit because you want that money, then they going to take your guns right underneath your fucking nose. So you're left defenseless and high. Ain't that some shit? But keep voting and keep putting yourself in the position where you don't demand that our legislators do better for us. Just keep on. They love it. They love it. And yet and still, we don't learn Maslow's hierarchy of needs or some of the other stuff that we need to learn to, be in a better frame of mind to really be able to understand the things that we need to understand. No. But now you're about to learn how dicks get to intertwine with other dicks and how vaginas get to intertwine with other vaginas and the importance of, that type of stuff. Yeah, you're about to learn that. Yeah, keep on. Keep on. Shit's funny to me. It really is. You got to pay attention when people are trying to sit there and give you information. Stop liking who the fuck is giving you the information and start learning from what you've heard. Just imagine if the people that were doing all these riots and stuff like that and the gang members and stuff like that, we want to sit there and turn them on the white man. You got black politicians who are selling us the fuck out. You got black representatives who are just selling us the fuck out and right underneath your nose and you don't even know that shit. How many of you all know how to go to the to the Illinois website where you get to see the type of bills that are being proposed in the House and in the Senate while you praising somebody because they smell good or because they look good or because they're a great orator and speak well? We being Barack Obama all day by those who don't even have a name like his. Come on, man. Come on, bro. I'm just saying. At what point in time are we going to sit here and stop being triggered by a person like me? Because I ain't nobody. I'm humble. I do my shit, whatever. But you're more triggered by me than by the people who are fucking you faster and harsher than someone like me who just says something you don't want to hear. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? Well, get your ass in somebody's concealed carry class. Until they change the laws, we still got it. So go get that shit and be able to protect yourself. Because guess what? When you sit there and you are, when the door is being kicked in or whatever the case may be, and the only thing that's keeping that person from coming in is the bars that you have on there and the glass that you have on there, then my 87-year-old neighbor, black neighbor, had to wait 44 minutes for the police to finally respond, and she didn't have nobody there to defend her. She didn't have my number, and then when she finally caught up with me, I learned about that, and the police station is just down the street. Look, no one is going to be there to protect you but you. And it's more than just the physical ability to be able to protect yourself. It's more than just having a gun. It's understanding the legislators who make the laws that enable you to be able to exercise the rights that we really have and should not be legislated. But until that happens, you got to look at Patah, you're something else. You got to look at that. I can't read that comment. Patah is something else. Let's check these legislators. Let's check them. Ask them about their voting rights. Ask them about their voting on certain issues, especially when it comes down to you defending yourself. Now, some of you who hate the police but call them, then that's you. Fuck it, that's you. But I like the ability to be able to defend myself. I like that. Great show. A lot of stuff we talked about, okay? You got people that's interested in guns, tag them in on this show. At least the first half. Some of y'all you could just ignore the second half. I don't want to listen to that shit. But I'm going to say it again. Just different platform. I'm going to say it again. All right. This is Instructor Mike, and you have been trained. Okay. Make sure that you like the Maze Jackson page on YouTube. Subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Send more stars. And make sure that you listen to a lot of the other great programming that we have coming up. Shouts out to Herb Howard and Tucson Warner, Mike Love, and Diz on Chicago Famous coming up today at 3 o'clock. Yay, I think next is the Bigs, right? Bigs, that's it. It's been a lot of stuff that's been going on in the sports world. And so I hear they're doing great things. They got a new executive producer, all that great stuff. So stay tuned for the Bigs. They're coming up. And for Instructor Mike, or for me, I'm going to say for me, I'm out. Bye. I'll see y'all next time.
WIIFTBPN.